Welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods. It's an exciting day because of this, which is...
What have you got, Martin?
An unregistered vehicle permit.
Oh,
there it is.
Oh,
there it is.
Oh, so today we're going to be driving this unregistered Superturbo on Sydney roads legally, which is weird.
All right, we've got our slit, and it's the March Superturbo's first drive on Australian roads on a beautiful autumn day.
Let's do it, Martin.
Let's go. I don't know where I'm going, so we've got to get some GPS.
Go that way and then turn that way.
Should we release
I can't wait. Release the honk, Martin. Australia needs it. It's so good. It brings back so many memories of driving this across Japan, and it just it felt fast, and it still feels fast, but the power delivery is just so smooth and delicious.
And it brings in supercharger when it thinks it needs it. Like then it goes, oh, you got a bit more load, your accelerator's past a certain point and you're under certain revs, bring the honk.
It's so good.
Cut it in the same as an aircon. Pretty good. We need to go this way. You can only go directly to and from your appointment. So we have to go the shortest route, whatever, to the weighbridge. And if you get pulled over, then basically you just got to explain the why and how of what you're doing and show your documentation and stuff like that. They don't just give you an unregistered vehicle permit just cause, like you actually have to have a reason. Because this car was imported, I'm going through the process, as you know, of actually doing the import certification. You've got to have the approval, you need to do the engineering. Now the car has been inspected by an engineer, and this is one of the things that he requested that has to be done. So any car that's imported with import approval, if they don't have that on file, they want to know exactly the weight of the front wheels just on the weighbridge, and then the whole car. That gets given to the appropriate authorities, whatever, they write that down on the rego form, and you'll probably see most rego forms have the weight of the car. That's how they obtain it.
Because this would be the first Superturbo registered in Australia in this new, like we know that a couple of these got in through a kind of a loophole a while ago that is a bit questionable. Certainly now, this new scheme that's in place, this will be the first Nissan March Superturbo registered in Australia, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, under the 25-year rule. So there'll be more cool cars of this generation that'll come through.
Yeah, which is exciting.
But this would be one of the first ones on the road. I know there's a handful that have made it through because the laws only just changed. So yeah, we bought this car a while ago and then didn't really know what we'd be able to do with it, and then the laws changed.
Well, we had it in storage in Japan for about a year, just waiting and hoping the laws would change, and eventually they did. But until they did, the car just was in a shed at Import Monster. Thank you very, very much for keeping that for us.
Legend.
So it's just been sitting there in a shed, being stored for us all that time, and now here we are in Australia,
honking our way to the weighbridge. So the other thing that has to happen, so we've got to get the weighbridge done. The engineer checks all the seat belts, the lights. Luckily, because this is a Nissan and a fairly common car and of the same era as S13s and stuff like that, most of the technology in it is actually the same. That's good news, because if a 180 could get in to Australia and meet those Australian design rules, ADRs they call them for short, then there's a high chance that a car the same era would, because Nissan's not going to go to a different seatbelt supplier. They're just going to say, we want these seatbelts that pass a certain standard.
The difference is, though, back in the day there used to be a list of compliance items that had to be done for a 180SX. So for example, even if you didn't have kids, you had to put child seat anchor points in the back, and they had to be to an engineered specificity.
Specificity is a good word. I like it.
To make sure they were efficacious in their application. And then they also they had to put side intrusion bars in the doors, but because of the 25-year rule, none of those things are now applicable to this particular car. So you kind of get in it, you weigh it, you register it, and you drive around, which is kind of crazy, but also the way it should be.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's the different authorities catching up, because nationally the government goes, yeah, you know, we should do 25-year-olds. It's not going to compete with any local March Superturbos, is it? Like,
no.
What else are you going to buy that's like this? Nothing. That's why they've opened it up. It's good for the industry too. People can import stuff, they can make money. You know, there's taxes involved. Of course, every step of the way you are paying some kind of tax, and so that's kind of how the market works, and there's the demand, and then they meet the demand. So it's pretty awesome. I'm getting chopped by something with a big trailer that almost ran us over.
What's wild, and I just keep my brain just keeps going round and round about this, is that we in Japan on a closed road went over 200 kilometers an hour in this car, and it's a 1 litre engine.
Yeah.
So it's 100 kilometers per 500 mils.
I have a feeling. I don't know how accurate a speedo was, but I reckon this would have probably. Do you reckon this would have chopped us at 180 because of its?
It didn't though, because we checked it on the GPS. Remember?
That's right. Yeah, because it went off the clock.
Because it was just sitting down. It was just sitting down there, and we were wondering whether it would hold us back at 180, but it didn't.
No.
But most of the cars that we know from Japan, like 180s, unless someone's defeated it somehow, do stop at 180, which means whoever owned this, if it doesn't have a factory cutoff, had already defeated that.
Highway runs. We'll have to dig in there and see if there's any kind of like speed cut defender.
I can't wait to actually go through it and like see, because in Japan we gave it a quick service, we did some spark plugs, but we haven't actually gone through it in any detail. We haven't pulled up the carpet, we haven't looked all through it to see what's in here. Like what's that? Like that thing there is the card reader for when you're going on the toll roads.
And there's a little
toll roads there in Japan.
Receiver thing up here, and all sorts of wacky stuff going on.
Amazing clean car.
So nice.
And a mini disc player, which is awesome. So mini discs came out after CDs. They look like CDs, but they're only about this big, and they're inside a little cartridge. And in Japan, interestingly, you could go to libraries and you could borrow CDs, and then you could buy blank mini discs. So they knew everyone was going to be pirating them anyway, but they built in a piracy cost into the blank media, so that when you borrow a CD and buy a mini disc, the cost of that mini disc is factoring in the fact that you're probably going to pirate it anyway, and so some of that money goes to the artist. So you buy blank media and the artist gets some money, which I think is kind of cool.
In convoy with someone with a MCM sticker.
Just say mightycarmods.com. Let's say g'day. Hey bro, how you doing? Yeah, that's a Mighty Mod sticker. Old mate's stoked. I gotta say, I really do love driving around Sydney in our hometown, and even other countries as well. When you see our stickers on cars like that, it's really cool. And
rad.
we've seen them all over the world when we're traveling. It's even more trippy when you're in France or you're somewhere and you see Mighty Mod sticker. And even in Cuba, we saw them over there. Hey bro, there's another one.
Another one.
Hey dude. That's awesome.
In a sick Commodore.
In a V8.
Very cool. Hey
bro. But yeah, it's cool when you can kind of drive around your city and, you know, run into lots of people.
Yeah,
that, you know,
go keen though. Everyone's so
awesome.
keen.
See you, bro.
Certainly attracts attention, this little thing, doesn't it?
Oh, you're not flying under the radar in a Superturbo. No way.
Not at all.
Right. On ramp, Martin.
Tip it in.
It's Superturbo.
Tip it in.
V8 Commodore. Can we keep up?
Handles just as terribly as I remember.
Yes. So good.
Always makes me laugh, this car. It's brilliant.
We need more smiles. We
Yeah.
need more smiles from cars.
Yep.
And cars need to make us feel a bit cheeky,
See it.
frisky.
But isn't it weird how comfortable this thing is? I forgot. Because you look at it and go, oh, total nugget, it's going to be rough. Like it actually, it's really comfortable to get around in.
It's great.
And we're not like K-car squashed either. Look at that guy. He's on a push bike with like 25 meters of PVC.
What a legend. Martin, we're 3 kilometers away.
Yeah, it sent us through the Olympic Park. That's where the Olympics were like 20 years ago.
That's right, in the year 2000.
I thought, you know how the police also use BMWs now?
Yes.
I saw that Euro thing come the other way and went, that's a cop.
Yeah.
I do have in the back of me, like, although we're full legit, I still have it in my head like, oh no, what if we get pulled over? But it's like, we're doing it the right way.
We're legal, mate.
Full legal.
There's many ways of not doing it, and we're not doing that. Or something.
So some of the engineering considerations that go into passing a car like this is it's got to meet the same Australian design rules as the year of the car. So this is like I think a 92 or a 93. So it's got to comply with that year. So basically no cars that are like crappier than that come in that are the same age. Like it has to be as good as possible. You can retrofit stuff though. So say your car doesn't have a particular thing that's needed. Another BMW, they're everywhere, dude. Say your car doesn't have a particular thing or the right kind of seatbelts, you can actually get that, and generally that will update your safety equipment to be even newer. And the safety equipment is the biggest thing. It's got to have the right lights, the blinkers have got to be the right color. I know some American cars don't have the amber blinkers. They might not have the right kind of high beam. The headlights might be sort of facing the wrong way. Because this is a Japanese car that, although we didn't get here, is similar to Japanese cars that we did get here, it makes all that way easier.
And that's why a lot of old American cars that are rolling around in Australia, which maybe is more common in the States, but in Australia, you don't have to have seatbelts in those old cars because they never came with them anyway.
Yep.
Some people might go, yeah, that makes sense because where I live in America, that's the way it is. But in Australia, it is very, very rare to be allowed to drive around in a car that, for example, doesn't have seatbelts. Like well, you just don't see it, do you?
And this doesn't have child seat anchors in the back, but then again, it's not really the kind of car you're going to put baby seats in. If you wanted to do that, you can put them in and then get them engineered. That's the other good thing.
Yeah.
If there's something the car doesn't have that you personally want, or you want to update your safety gear, like I'll probably replace this seatbelt anyway because it's like, you know, it's just old. Like it's an easy, cheap thing to do. Yeah. And good for peace of mind. So you can go through and do that. But as long as it complies with the relevant ADR, you're good and you'll get it in.
Hanging out of the ute, giving some old choppy chop fingers.
Mad.
Gotta give him a honk, mate. Yeah.
Go full honk. All right, I think we're almost there, are we?
Went 200 metres away. Keep
there it
going,
is, public weighbridge, dude. I got no idea how to do it, except all I know is the engineer said you got to drive on, weigh the front, and then weigh the whole thing.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do.
I reckon we should drive on, weigh the front, then weigh the whole thing.
I don't know how this works.
I reckon it's up there now. Oh, it's just here.
It's just here. Should we take the people with us?
I guess so.
Is there someone there?
Yeah, it's open.
Is it? Looks kind of not open to me.
Let me go do some investigations, mate.
Awesome. Otherwise we're going to another weighbridge. We're in big trouble. Official or not?
Closed.
Damn. That could ruin our day. Oh, hey mate, I'm looking for a weighbridge near Auburn. Is there one around here? Oh, do you make them or do you have one? Oh, fantastic. All right, man, can I just come down and weigh a car for Rego? Fantastic, I'll be there shortly. Thanks heaps. No problem, I got it here. Thanks heaps, man. See you soon. Awesome. That's good.
Where are they?
2 Ks away.
Perfect.
So we're good. I think they're just actually a little bit further. They're just further down that road, so we're actually good. There's heaps of traffic, but well, that sucks. There's a giant sign that says public weighbridge, and there's a website and it says it's open, and there's Google that says it's open, but it's shut. And looks like it's been shut for ages.
It does.
So now we get to sit in some mad traffic.
Look at that Honda Civic. I wish I owned that. Do you? Just have some fun on the track with it?
It's actually pretty cool. Hey man, your front left tire's a bit flat, just so you know. It's a little bit low, yeah, just so you know.
Yeah. Hey, bro. He just recognised you afterwards. That's pretty funny.
I probably do that twice a week, I reckon.
Really?
I just had a habit if I pull up next to someone. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, check your tyre. I reckon about twice a week. Because I just have a habit when I pull up the lights, you just end up looking at people's wheels, and then if you see it's a bit low, because it's easy, like it could have happened on the trip here. Yeah. And he wouldn't have a clue.
Very helpful, Martin.
Well, potentially saves the tyre if you catch it before it's totally empty, and then you run over it and kill your $300 tyre.
1 minute left, Martin. We got to honk ourselves 170 metres down this road.
Are we on the left at the end of this road?
On the left, yep. Actually, I have no idea. I'm just making that up.
Public weighbridge.
There we go.
Do we go in there, you reckon?
No, because that says no entry.
Oh, it's that side. Oh, there it is. Weighbridge.
That'll do.
Yes, we found it. Fantastic.
Martin, I'm guessing 780 kilos.
Are you?
What's your guess?
What's everyone's guess? Oh, we can't read it.
What's your guess?
843 without us in it.
Okay. All right, let's find out, Martin. Do you reckon we're allowed to drive on?
Yep, and then we've got to go see someone. We've got to weigh the front wheels and stuff as well, so we've got to speak to whoever's here and working and work it out. Oh, it's like an automated thing. And
touch anywhere on the screen to start weighing.
Pay some money.
I'll go do the screen, Martin.
The number is there.
And And who wins an ice cream, Martin?
What did you say?
780, I think.
And what did I say?
843 or something.
Did I actually say 843?
Yeah, I think so. Why?
No way! No way!
Whoa! Oh, you already
No,
knew. Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah, here
I
we
promise.
Go again. Here we go.
I promise I didn't.
You always do that.
No way! No way! Oh, that's so good. I'm really good at guessing the time, and I'm good at guessing what. I'm not actually good at guessing weights, but I just fluked that completely.
Marty looks at his watch and then says, "Make me guess the time," and gets it right every time.
I never look at the watch. Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's a success, isn't it?
Amazing.
Not only did we get our weighbridge and make it here after the weighbridge was closed, we now know the weight of the Superturbo, which takes us one step closer to registration, my friend.
What else do we need for registration now?
We need to get some hot chips. What?
What else do we have to do now for rego? Is that it?
I think we're just about there, man. This information has to go to the engineer, so the weight and the engine number and all that details have to go to the engineer. He writes me up the whole document. I take that, my import approval, and a blue slip, so it needs one more inspection.
Yep.
That all goes to the Motor Roads Authority, and then they give me plates, hopefully.
Awesome. All right, everybody, thank you very much for hanging with us. That was a little, I was going to say a little bonus, a little hang with us while we go get some stuff done. But there it is, Superturbo, one step closer to getting on the road. And then we're going to organise some mad little mini car cruise. We want to take out the Mira, the Superturbo, and the Mini.
Yes.
I don't know how two of us drive 3 cars.
We'll work that out.
We'll work it out.
And go this way.
And there it is. So thanks, everybody. See you again next time on Mighty Car Mods.